교권군 학생들과 싸우려는 게 아닙니다. 괴물들과 싸우려는 겁니다. 괴물로 잡아야 하지 않겠습니까?
교권보호국 감독관 특별지도 하는 곳입니다.
또라이는 또라이를 잡는다! 맞습니까?
그렇지! 대한민국 교권보호국은 오늘부로 이 학교를 참교육
뿌리는 대로 한번 해보세요. 하실 수 있으면요.
교권국은 반드시 해제시키겠습니다. 시끄러!
신상
그게 바로 교권국이 추구하는 진짜 사랑한다잉?
Hello everyone, today we are talking about Teach You a Lesson 2026 Season 1. This is not a normal school story. From the first episode, you can feel that something is very different. Every scene slowly makes you think what is really going on. That is the biggest reason why this season becomes so interesting. The story starts with Ethan. She looks like a normal student, but very soon we understand that his life is not simple. After that, we meet Mia. She is smart, calm, and always notice small things that other people ignore. When Ethan and Mia meet, the story becomes more exciting. At first, everything looks normal, but little by little, many hidden secrets comes out. Every episode gives a new surprise. Sometimes you think you already know the truth, but the next scene changes everything. That is why this season keeps your attention from the beginning to the end. The school is not just a place for study, it feels like every classroom, every hallway, and every teacher is hiding something. Because of that, every conversation becomes important. Even a small scene can become a big clue later. The biggest thing is that the story never feels slow. Every episode gives a new question, and you always want to watch the next episode. The suspense is very good, but it is easy to understand. You don't feel confused. Instead, you become more interested after every episode. One more thing I really liked is the acting. Ethan looks natural, and Mia also gives a very good performance. Their experience make many scenes feel real. Because of that, you can easily connect with both characters. Overall, the first part of Teach You a Lesson 2026 Season 1 gives a very strong start. It has mystery, suspense, emotions, and many unexpected moments. If you enjoy stories that make you think after every episode, then the season is a good choice. After the first few episodes, the story becomes even more interesting. At this point, Ethan starts feeling that many things around him are not normal. Small events happen every day, but when he joins all those events together, he realizes there is a hidden connection. This is the moment where the season becomes much more exciting. On the other side, Mia is also trying to find the truth. She is very smart and never believes everything she hears. She always watches people carefully. Sometimes she stays quiet, but inside her mind, she is thinking about every small detail. Because of this, she notices many things that other students completely miss. As more episodes move forward, new characters enter the story. Even every new person looks normal in the beginning, but after some time, you start asking yourself, can I trust this person? That is one of the biggest strength of this season. Almost every character has a secret, and every secret slowly changes the story. The teachers also becomes very important. At first they look like normal teachers, but later their actions make everyone suspicious. Sometimes they help the students and sometimes they behave in a very strange way. Because of this, you never know who is telling the truth and who is hiding something. One thing I really enjoyed is the writing. Every episode ends with a surprise. Just when you think everything is clear, the last few minutes completely change your opinion. This keeps the audience excited for the next episode. The friendship between Ethan and Mia also becomes stronger. They began to trust each other more. But even between friends, there are moments where starts growing. Sometimes they disagree with each other, and sometimes they even hide information. These moments make their relationship feel real. The background music is another strong point. Whenever something important is about to happen, the music slowly becomes intense. It never feels too loud, but it creates the perfect mood. Many scenes become more powerful because of the music alone. The camera work is also very good. Some scenes are filmed in dark classrooms, empty hallways, and silent rooms. These locations create a mystery feeling without using too many special effects. Even simple scenes become interesting because of the way they are shown. Another thing I liked is that the story does not waste time. Every episode gives useful information. Even a small conversation between two characters becomes important later. If you ignore one small scene, you may miss a big clue. That is why this season rewards viewers who pay attention carefully. As the mysterious grows, Ethan starts asking difficult questions. He wants answers, but every answer creates another question. This makes the journey more exciting because the audience is discovering the truth together with him. Mia also changes during the season. In the beginning, she looks calm and cheerful, but later she becomes more confident. She is ready to take risks when necessary. Her character development is one of the best parts of the season because you can clearly see how much he grows. There are also emotional moments where the characters have to make difficult decisions. Sometimes they have to choose between friendship and truth. Sometimes they have to protect someone they care about. These scenes are not just about mystery, they also show real human emotions. The pacing of the season is balanced. Some episodes are full of suspense, while others focus more on characters and their feelings. Because of this balance, the season never becomes too boring. It always gives something new to the journey to enjoy. One thing I appreciate is that the story repeats the audience. It does not explain every small thing immediately. Instead, it allows viewers to think and create their own theories. Watching the season becomes even more fun because you keep guessing what will happen next. The production quality also looks very good. The lighting, costume, classroom, and locations all feel realistic. Nothing looks fake, which helps the audience stay connected with the story. By the middle of the season, the mystery becomes much bigger than anyone expected. The truth is connected to many people, not just Ethan or Mia. Every episode reveals another small piece of the puzzle, and slowly the complete picture starts becoming clear. Overall, this part of Teach You a Lesson 2026 Season 1 is even stronger than the beginning. It gives more suspense, better character development, bigger surprise, and many unforgettable moments. By the end of these episodes, one thing is certain, you will definitely want to continue watching because the story keeps getting bigger and more exciting. After everything that happens before, the story enters a completely new stage. Ethan is no longer the same person. In the beginning, he was just trying to understand what was happening around him, but now he knows that if he wants the truth, he has to face every challenge, no matter how difficult it becomes. At the same time, Mia is also getting closer to the real mystery. She starts collecting every small clue, she writes down every important detail, remembers every strange conversation, and carefully watch the people around her. Because of her smart thinking, many hidden secrets slowly start coming out. As the story moves forward, the school itself begins to feel different. The same classroom, the same hallways, and the same playground now feel full of mysterious. Every place looks normal, but you always feel that something unexpected can happen at any moment. One thing this season does really well is creating tension. Sometimes nothing big is happening on the screen, but the atmosphere is so strong that you still feel nervous. A simple look between two characters can tell a complete story without using many words. There are also many moments where Ethan starts doubting the people around him. Some people look honest, but their actions tell a different story. Others behave strangely, but later they turn out to be helping him. Because of this, it becomes impossible to predict who is a friend and who is not. Mia and Ethan continue working together, but their journey is not easy. They sometimes disagree about what to do next. Ethan wants quick answers, while Mia believes every step should be planned carefully. These small arguments make their friendship feel natural and realistic. The dialogues are another strong point of the season. Every conversation has meaning, even when two characters are talking normally, their words often contain a hidden message. Because of this, the audience has to pay attention to every single scene. Another great thing is the suspense. The writers never reveal everything at once. Instead, they give one answer, then immediately raise two more questions. This keeps the excitement alive from one episode to the next. The emotional side of the story also becomes stronger. We began to understand why different characters make certain decisions. Some of them are trying to protect of their families. Some are carrying guilt from the past. Others are simply afraid of the truth. These personal stories make every character feel more human. The background music once again deserves praise. During quiet scene, the music stays soft, but when something shocking is about to happen, the sound slowly builds up and makes the moment even more powerful. The camera work also deserves appreciation. Close up shots clearly show the fear, confusion, and determination on the character face without saying anything. Their expression tell the audience exactly what they are feeling. As some clues appear, Ethan starts connecting different events from earlier episodes. Suddenly, small scenes that looked unimportant before now become very important. This is one of the smartest part of the writing because it rewards viewers who have been paying attention from the beginning. The season also avoids unnecessary action. Instead of depending only on fights or loud scene, it builds excitement through mystery conversations and unexpected twist that makes the story feel more mature and interesting. Even every episode also ends in a way that makes you want to praise the next episode immediately. Just when you think the mystery is about to end, another surprise changes everything again. One thing I really liked is the balance between mystery and character development. The show does not forget its character while focusing on the plot. We get to see how Ethan grows more confident with every challenge, while Mia becomes even stronger and more fearless. The supporting character also receive more screen time. Some of them look small at first, but later they become very important to the main story. Even person has a reason for being there, and almost nobody feels unless the production quality continues to impress. The lighting and editing and overall presentation stay constant throughout the season. Everything looks clean and professional. By the point, the mystery has become much deeper than anyone expected. The truth is no longer about just one incident, it is connected to many people, many decisions, and many secrets that have been hidden for a long time. And that's why this part of Elation season 1 is one of the most engaging parts of the entire season. Every episode gives suspense, emotions, mystery, and a strong storytelling. By the time this section ends, you will be completely invested in the journey of Ethan and Mia, early waiting to discover what happens next. Alright, now let's continue the next part of the season. From this point, the season becomes much more serious. The mystery is no longer just about finding answers. Now every decision made by Ethan and Mia can completely change what happens next. This is where the story show really starts showing its strength. As new episodes began, Ethan noticed that every clue is connected to another clue. At first, he thought everything was happening by chance, but now he understands that someone has been planning all of these for a long time. This realization changes the way he looks at very situation. At the same time, Mia continues her own investigation. She never rushes to make a decision. Instead, she carefully studies every person, every conversation, and every strange event. Her patience becomes one of her biggest strength, and because of that, she find finds important information that others completely miss. One thing I really enjoyed is that the writers never make the story feel repetitive. Every episode introduces something fresh. Sometimes it's a new secret, sometimes it's a shocking truth, and sometimes it's a twist that completely changes everything you believed before. The relationship between Ethan and Mia also becomes stronger. They trust each other more than before, but that trust is tested many times. There are moments when they have different opinions. There are also moments when they wonder if they should continue searching for the truth or simply walk away from everything. This scene made both characters feel very real. Another great thing about this season is its atmosphere. Even when there is no action, you still feel that something important is about to happen. The silence in many scenes is just as powerful as the dialogues. The show know how to build suspense without depending only on loud music or fast action. The editing is also impressive. The scene moves smoothly from one place to another, and the story never feels confusing. Every flashback gives you useful information instead of wasting time. As the episode continue, more hidden secrets are revealed. Some of these secrets answer old questions, but they also create new mysteries. That is why the audience keeps thinking about the story even after episode ends. One of the best parts is the emotional journey of Ethan. Is the beginning he was uncertain and confused, but now he starts believing in himself. He becomes more confident and learns that sometimes the truth comes with a heavy price. Mia also grew as a character. She is no longer just helping Ethan. She becomes an important part of solving the mystery. Her intelligence, courage, and calm nature help both of them move closer to the truth. The supporting character also surprised the audience. Some people who looked unimportant in the beginning suddenly become very important. Others who seemed completely trustworthy began acting in ways that made everyone suspicious. This keeps the audience guessing all the time. The background music continues to do a amazing job. During emotional scene, it stays soft and simple. During suspenseful moment, it slowly become strong without becoming too loud. Because of this, every important scene feels even more powerful. The production quality is also very good. The location, lighting, camera angles, and overall presentations all work together to create a realistic feeling. It never looks fake or overdone. Another thing I liked is that the show respects the audience intelligence. It does not explain everything immediately. Instead, it leaves small hints throughout the story. Later, when the truth comes out, you remember those hints and realize they were there from the beginning. As this part of the season reaches its ending, the tension becomes stronger than ever. Every episode rises the stakes. Every new discovery brings both hope and danger. The closer Ethan and Mia get to the truth, the more difficult their journey becomes, and that exactly why this season of Teach You a Lesson Season 1 is so enjoyable. It offers great mystery, a strong suspense, emotional moment, a smart storytelling, and excellent character development. By the end of this episode, you all feel completely connected to Ethan and Mia. and you will be excited to see how the season moves toward its final chapters. From here, the story becomes bigger than ever before. Until now, Ethan and Mia were searching for answers, but now they realize that every answer has another hidden secret behind it. The mystery is not ending, instead, it is becoming even deeper. The biggest reason this part feels so exciting is because the danger slowly starts increasing. Earlier, the characters were only trying to understand what was happening. Now they know that one wrong step can create serious problems. Because of this, every decision becomes very important. Ethan starts thinking differently. He understands that rushing into every situation is not the right choice. He becomes more careful and begins noticing a small detail that he ignored before. This shows how much his character has changed since the first episode. At the same time, Mia continues proving why she is one of the smartest characters in the season. She stays calm even during difficult situations, while everyone around her is worried. She keeps looking for clues. Her confidence grows with every episode, and it becomes clear that she is just as important as Ethan. One thing I really loved is how the show builds suspense. Sometimes a scene lasts only a few minutes, but it keeps you thinking for a long time. The writers know exactly how to create curiosity without revealing too much. The conversations between the characters also become more meaningful. Nobody is talking just to fill time. Every dialogue gives more information, shows someone's personality, or hints at something important that may happen later. The school continues to feel like a palace full of secrets. Every classroom, every hallway, every office, and every empathy corner creates a mysterious feeling. Even simple locations become interesting because the audience never know what will happen next. Another thing I noticed is that the season gives enough time to every important character. Instead of focusing only on Ethan, the story also explores the lives of other people. This makes the world feel bigger and more realistic. There are also emotional moments where the characters remember their past. These scenes help us understand why they behave the way they do today. Instead of making them look perfect, the show gives every character strength as well as weakness that makes them feel like real people. The background music once again deserves praise. It never tries to control your emotions. Instead, it quietly supports the scene during emotional moment. It stays shocked during suspense. It slowly becomes stronger and increase the excitement naturally. The editing is also smooth. The story moves from one scene to another without feeling rushed. Every episode has a good balance between mystery, emotions, and character development. As the season moves closer to its later episodes, the audience starts connecting many events from the beginning. Suddenly, scenes that looked small before now become very important. This is one of the smartest parts of the writing because it shows that everything was planned from the start. The supporting characters also become more interesting. Some people finally reveal their real intention while others continue hiding the truth. Because of this, it becomes almost impossible to predict what will happen in the next episode. One of the strongest points of this season is that it never depends only on shocking twists. Instead, it builds its story through strong characters, smart writing, and realistic emotions. That is why the suspense feels natural instead of forced. By this point, Ethan has become much more confident. He is ready to face difficult situations even when he knows the trust might hurt him. Mia also becomes more fearless, proving again and again that intelligence can be more powerful than physical strength. As these episodes end, the tension reaches another level. It feels like the biggest truth is very close, but the story still keeps one final surprise waiting for the audience. Every ending makes you want to start the next episode immediately. Overall, this part of TQ Election Season 1 keeps getting better. The mystery becomes deeper and the suspense becomes stronger. The character become more mature and the story keeps surprising the audience again and again. At this stage, the season fully garbage your attention and makes it impossible to stop watching. By this time, the story has become much bigger than anyone expected. In the beginning, everything looked like a small mystery, but now it feels like every person is connected to one big truth. The closer Ethan gets to the answers, the more difficult each journey becomes. One thing I really like is that the show never forgets its main goal. It keeps the audience interested without adding unnecessary scene. Every episode has a purpose, every conversation pushes the story forward. Because of that, you never feel bored while watching. Ethan has changed a lot since the first episode. Earlier, he reacted with emotions, but now he starts thinking before making any decision. He understands that one mistake can destroy everything they have discovered so far. This change makes his character much strong and more mature. At the same time, Mia continues helping him in every every possible way. She is not the kind of character who waits for others to solve the problem. She takes action on herself. She studies every clue, every file, every message, and every strength event. Her claim thinking becomes on the biggest reason why the investigation moves forward. As the story continues, more shocking truth slowly came out. Some characters are not who they seem to be. People who looked innocent in the beginning suddenly become suspicious. On the other hand, some characters who looked dangerous actually have good intention. Because of this, the audience keeps changing their opinion after almost every episode. The writing deserves a lot of appreciation. The writers carefully connected old scene with new events. Sometimes you remember a dialogue from episode 2 and suddenly it becomes important in episode 8. This kind of storytelling makes the entire season feel well planned. The atmosphere also become darker. The school no longer feels like a normal place. Every hallway looks silent. Every classroom feels like it is hiding another secret. Even when the screen is quiet, the audience still feels that something important is about to happen. Another thing I enjoyed is the emotional balance. The show never focuses only on mystery. It also gives enough time to friendship, trust, fear, hope, and personal struggle. Because of this, the audience becomes emotionally connected to the characters. The friendship between Ethan and Mia becomes stronger than ever. They now understand each other's strength and weakness. Sometimes they don't even need words. A simple look is enough for both of them to understand what the other person is thinking. The supporting character continue adding new layers to the story. Every episode reveals something new about them. Some people hide their past, some are trying to protect other. The music never feels forced. Instead, it naturally improves every important moment. The camera work is also excellent. Many close-ups should clearly show the emotions of the character's face. Without saying a single word, you can understand their fear, confidence, sadness, and determination. This makes many scenes even more powerful. One thing that impressed me the most is how the season respect the audience. It never explains every answer immediately. Instead, it leaves hints everywhere. If you play it, if you pay attention carefully, you can connect many clues before the character do. As the episodes move closer to the finale, finale, the suspense becomes stronger with every scene. Every discovery creates another challenge. Every answer opens another mystery. This keeps the excitement alive from beginning to end. By now, Ethan has become a completely different person. He is more confident, more patient, and much smarter than before. Mia also proved again that she is one of the strongest characters in the entire season. Together they make a excellent team. The production quality remains impressive. The lighting, editing, sound design, and overall presentation stay consistent. Every episode looks polished and keeps the same high quality from start to finish. And finally, this season reminds us why TCU Elation Season 1 is such an engaging series. It combines mystery, suspense, emotional moment, strong characters, and smart storytelling in a very balanced way. By the by the end of this part, we will be completely invested in Ethan and Mia, angrily waiting to see how their journey reaches its final destination. Ethan now understands that this journey is much bigger than just himself. In the first few episodes, he only wanted simple answer, but now he realizes that many people lives are connected to their mystery. Because of this, the every step tracks become more dangerous. On the other hand, Mia never loses her focus, even when everyone around her starts feeling pressure. She stays calm, she carefully checks every clue every document and every conversation. Her smart thinking helps Ethan avoid many mistakes. One thing I really appreciate is how maturely the suspense keeps growing. The show does not depend only on loud scene or action. Instead, it creates excitement through simple moments. Sometimes a closed door, a unknown message, or a person's strange behavior is enough to make the audience curious. As the episode continues, old secrets begin coming out one by one. Some truths are shocking, while others are emotional. There are moments where the characters themselves can't believe what they have discovered. Those scenes are some of the strongest moments in the entire season. The friendship between Ethan and Mia also reaches another level. They now trust each other completely, even when they have different opinions. They always work together because they know they have the same goal. Their teamwork becomes one of the biggest parts of the story. The supporting character also become more important than ever. Some finally reveal their real side, while others continue hiding behind lies. Every character has their own reason for doing what they do, and that makes the story feel realistic. The emotional scenes are handled very well. The show give enough time for the characters to react to difficult situations instead of quickly moving to the next scene. It lets the audience feel their happiness, their disappointment, and hope. Because of this, many moments stay in your mind even after the episode ends. The background music once again deserves full praise. During quiet scene, it stays sharp and creates a peaceful feeling. During mystery scene, it slowly builds tension, and during the biggest reveals, it makes those moments feels even more powerful. The camera work also becomes more impressive. Many scenes use close shot to show the expression of the characters with saying anything. Their face clearly show what they are feeling inside. The writing is probably the strongest part of the season. Almost every clue shown earlier starts connecting together. Suddenly, many small scenes from previous episode become meaningful. This makes the audience realize that the writers planned the story very carefully from the beginning. Another thing I enjoyed is the pacing. Even though the story becomes faster, it never feels rushed. Every important moment gets enough time, and every big reveal feels earned instead of forced. As the finale gets closer, the pressure on Ethan and Mia becomes greater. They know that the final truth is very close, but they also understand that finding it may completely change their lives. The production quality remains excellent. The lighting, editing, sound design, and location all continue to create the perfect atmosphere. Everything looks polished and cinematic. By the end of this part, you can clearly feel that the biggest moment of the season are about to happen. Every episode leaves the audience with excitement, curiosity, and the feeling that something unforgettable is waiting just around the corner. Overall, this season of Teach You a Lesson Season 1 keeps the quality high from start to finish. It delivers a strong suspense, emotional moment, a smart storytelling, and excellent character development. At this stage, stopping the series become almost impossible because every episode makes you want to know the truth even more. Alright, after watching all the previous episodes, one thing becomes very clear. Nothing in this series happens without a reason. Every small clue, every strange conversation, and every unexpected moment was connected from the very beginning. This is the point where the audience starts remembering scene from the first episode because now everything slowly begins to make scene. Ethan is now completely different from the person we saw in episode 1. Earlier, he used to ask questions because he was confused, but now he asks questions because he knows that every answer can change everything. His confidence has grown a lot, and he is no longer afraid of facing difficult situations. At the same time, Mia also reaches her strongest point in the story. She keeps thinking logically even when everyone else is controlled by emotions. Her calm mind helps both of them move one step closer to the truth. Many times it is Mia who notices details that nobody else can see. One thing I loved is that the writers never tried to make the story easy. They respect the audience and allow us to think with the characters. Instead of giving direct answers, they leave small hints in almost every episode. Later, when those hints connect together, the feeling is really satisfying. The suspense also reaches another level. There are scenes where almost nothing is happening, but you still sit quietly because you feel that something important is about to happen. That kind of atmosphere is not easy to create, and this season does not it really well. The relationship between Ethan and Mia becomes one of the biggest highlights of the series. They trust each other, support each other, and never stop trying to protect one another. That teamwork feels natural, and because of that, the audience easily connects with both characters. The supporting characters also continue surprising us. Some people finally tell the truth, while others still hide important information. Every time you think you know someone real fast, the next episode gives another twist that keeps the mystery alive till the very end. Another thing I noticed is the balance between mystery and emotions. The show never forgets that the audience also wants to connect with the characters. So, along with suspense, we also get moments of friendship, trust, fear, hope, and sacrifice. These emotional scenes make the story much stronger. The background music once again does a amazing job. During emotional moment, it stays sharp and simple. During suspenseful scene, it slowly increases the tension without becoming too loud. Because of this, every important scene leaves a bigger impact. The camera work is also excellent. Many close-up shots perfectly show what the characters are feeling. Sometimes a single expression say more than a long dialogue. The lighting also matches the mood of every scene, making the entire series look very important, very cinematic. One of the biggest strengths of this season is its consistency. From the first episode to this point, the quality never goes down. Every episode adds something meaningful to the story, and nothing feels unnecessary. As we move closer to the ending, the pressure on Ethan and Mia becomes greater than ever. They know that the final truth is right in front of them, but they also understand that once the truth comes out, nothing will ever be the same again. The final episode keeps increasing the excitement, and every conversation feels important. You honestly don't feel like stopping because the story keeps pulling you deeper into its world. Overall, this part of Teach You Elation Season 1 prove why the series is so engaging. It has smart storytelling, story suspense, strong suspense, emotional depth, and memorable character. By the end of this episodes, you will be fully invested in Ethan and Mia, and you all definitely want to see how the season finally reaches its conclusion. After such a long journey, Ethan and Mia are finally standing very close to the truth. But the interesting part is that the closer they get, the more difficult everything becomes. Every answer creates another problem, and every new discovery completely changes the direction of the story. One thing I really respect about this season is that it never treat the audience like they can't understand the story. The writers trust the viewers. They leave small clues from the very first episodes, and now those clues slowly connect together like pieces of a puzzle. When you realize those connections, the feeling is honestly very satisfying. Ethan now looks much more mature. He no longer reacts without thinking before making any move. He carefully looks at every possibility. This growth is one of the biggest reasons why his character feels believable. You can clearly see how much he has changed since the beginning of the season. At the same time, Mia continues proving why she is one of the strongest characters in the show. She remains calm even during the most difficult situations. While others panic, she focuses on finding facts instead of guessing. Her intelligence becomes the biggest weapon of both of them. The suspense in this episode is outstanding. Sometimes the show creates tension using nothing more than silence, a small phone call, a closed room, or a unexpected message become enough to keep the audience completely focused on the screen. The emotional moments are also handled beautifully. We see the characters struggle with fear, trust, and difficult decisions. Some scenes are quiet, but they carry a lot of emotion. Instead of using long speech, the show lets the character express their feelings through their actions. Another thing I enjoyed is the way every strong character get a purpose. Nobody feels like they are only filling space. Uh, Even a character who appeared for a short time earlier suddenly become important during these episodes. This makes the entire story feels connected. The production quality remains excellent. The lighting, editing, sound design, and camera work continue looking every professional. Every location match the mood of the scene, making the mystery even together stronger. The background music once again deserved full credit. It never tried to overpower the scene. Instead, it quality supports every important moment during suspenseful scene. It increases the excitement, and during emotional moment, it allows the audience to connect with the characters as the scene reaches its final state. Almost every scene feels important. There are no unnecessary moments. Every dialogue, every clue, and every decision push the story closer to its conclusion. The bigger strength of this episode is the balance. The show gives mystery, suspense, emotions, and character development in equal amounts. Because of this, the audience never feels tired. Instead, every episode makes you even more excited for the next one. Ethan and Mia also become stronger as a team. Their trust is now complete. They understand each other's thinking without saying many words. Watching them solve problems together become one of the most enjoyable parts of the series. The writers also deserve appreciation for avoiding unnecessary action scenes. Instead of depending on fights, they focus on storytelling, mystery, and smart writing. This makes the show feel different from many other series. By the time this episode ends, you can clearly feel that the episode reveals is just around the corner. The excitement reaches its highest point, and it becomes almost impossible to stop waiting because every episode ends with a strong reason to continue. Overall, this season of Creation Season 1 keeps the same high quality that we have seen from the beginning. It delivers powerful suspense, emotional scene, क्या बोलते हैं excellent character growth and smart storytelling. And honestly, by this point, you all be completely invested in the journey of Ethan and Mia, waiting to see how everything finally comes together in the season finale. From the very first episode, the story kept asking questions. Every episode gave a new mystery, a new clue, and a new surprise. Now, in the final part, all those small pieces slowly starts joining together. This is the moment where the audience realizes that almost nothing in the season happened by accident. Every important scene had a reason, and every clue was leading toward one final truth. Ethan now stands in front of the biggest decision of his life. During the entire season, he has faced fear, confusion, pressure, and many difficult situations. But instead of giving up, he kept moving forward. That is That is what makes his journey feel satisfying. He is no longer the same person we met in the beginning. He has become a stronger climber and much more confident. At the same time, Mia also proved why she is one of the most important characters in the entire series. Throughout the season, she remained patient, intelligent, and focused. Even in the final episode, she never lost control while everyone else is affected by emotions and she continues thinking clearly because of her smart decision. Many important truths finally come into the light. The chemistry between Ethan and Mia becomes one of the strongest parts of the ending. They trust each other without asking questions. Every difficult situation makes their friendship even stronger. Watching them solve problems together feels natural and it never looks forced. Their teamwork becomes one of the biggest reasons why the final feels so powerful. One thing that impressed me the most is how the writers connected the complete story. Many scenes that looked small in the beginning suddenly become very important here. You start remembering old conversations, old clues, and old decisions. Slowly, everything begins making sense. This kind of storytelling show that the season was carefully planned from the start. The suspense remains strong until the very last episodes. Even when you think you already know the truth, another reveal change your expectations. The writers keep surprising the audience without making the story confusing. Every twist feels meaningful because it connects mature, natural with the earlier episodes. The emotional scene also become much stronger. We see characters facing the result of their own decisions. Some people feel regret, some finally accept the truth, others try to protect the people they care about. These emotional moments make the ending much more powerful because the audience has already spent so much time with these characters. The supporting character also receive satisfying ending. Every important person gets enough screen time and their role in the story finally becomes clear. Nobody feels forgotten, and every character has a purpose that makes the complete season feel balanced. The background music deserves special praise. During the final scene, the music perfectly matches every emotion. When the story becomes emotional and the music stays soft, when suspense increases, the music slowly builds tension, and during the biggest moment, it creates a feeling that stays with you even after the episode ends. The camera work is equally impressive. Close-up shots clearly show very emotional on the character's face. The lighting, editing, and overall presentation continue looking beautiful until the very last scene. The production quality remains high from the first episode to the final. Another thing I loved is that the editing does not feel rushed. The writers give enough time to explain the improvement important events without making the episode slow. Every answer feels earned because the audience has followed this journey from the beginning. Instead of giving random surprise, The show rewards viewers who paid attention to the small details. The final conversation between the characters are also memorable. Some dialogues are simple but they carry deep meaning. Instead of using very long speeches, the show allows emotion and expression to speak for themselves. That makes many scenes feel realistic. By the last few minutes, the season successfully brings together mystery, suspense, and emotions between trust, friendship, and personal growth. Every major storyline reaches a satisfying conclusion while still leaving enough curiosity to make viewers interested in what would happen next. Overall, Teach You a Lesson Season 1 is a series that keeps you interested from the first episode to the last. It is not just about solving a mystery, it is also about trust, courage, friendship, difficult choices, and personal growth. The smart storytelling, a strong performance, excellent suspense, and emotional moment make this season a very enjoyable experience. If you like mysterious series that slowly build their story and keep surprising you until the end, this season is definitely worth watching. The first thing that stayed in my mind was the way the story was written. Many series become slow after a few episodes, but Teach You a Lesson Season 1 keeps moving forward. Every episode adds a new layer to mystery. You never feel like a episode is only filling time. Instead, every scene has a purpose, and that is one of the biggest strength of this season. Talking about Ethan, his character has one of the biggest journey in the season. In the beginning, he looks like a ordinary student who is simply trying to understand what is happening around him. But as the story moves forward, he becomes more responsible, more difficult, more confident, and much smarter. Instead of depending on luck, he starts depending on his own thinking. Watching this chance feels very natural. Now let's talk about Mia. She is easily one of the most balanced character in the story. She never overreact. She never makes unnecessary drama, and she always thinks before taking action. Whenever the story becomes confusing, Mia helps bring everything back into focus. Because of this, she becomes one of the most important reasons why the investigation keeps moving in the right direction. Another thing I noticed is the teamwork between Ethan and Mia. The show never tried to make one character look perfect while making the other look weak. Both characters have different qualities and both help each other at different moments. This balance makes their friendship feel believable and the audience enjoy watching them together. The mystery itself is also very well handled. The writers does not reveal everything one episode. They slowly build curiosity. First, they give one clue, then another clue, and before you realize it, you are trying to solve the mystery along with the characters. That makes the series much more interactive because your mind keeps working while watching. One thing that deserves appreciation is the pacing. Some episodes focus more on suspense while others focus Others more focus more on emotions. Because of this balance, the season never becomes repetitive. Every episode feels fresh, and every chapter gives the audience a new reason to continue. The emotional side of the series is also very strong. The show is not only about secrets and mysterious, it also talks about trust, friendship, difficult decisions, and facing the result of your own choice. This emotional moment make the character feel like real people instead of fictional heroes. The background music quietly supports every important scene. It never becomes too loud and it never distract the audience. Instead, it helps increase the tension during suspenseful moment and adds emotion during serious scene. This small detail improve the overall experience a lot. The cinematography is also impressive. The school locations, empty hallways, classroom, and dark corner are used very well to create the perfect atmosphere. Sometimes the location itself feels like another character in the story because it adds so much mystery. The editing is smooth throughout the season, since chance never feels strange. Scene chance never feels strange, and the flashbacks are placed at the right moment. They help explain the story instead of making it complicated. The supporting character also deserves credit. They are not just standing in the background. Almost every important character has their own story, their own reason for making certain decisions, and their own role in the mystery. This makes the world of the series feel much bigger. If I had to describe the season in simple words, I would say it is a series that rewards patience. If you pay attention to dialogues, the clues, and the small details, the ending becomes much more satisfying. It is not the kind of story where you can skip episodes because every episode adds something important. By the time the season ends, you feel like you have completed a long journey with Ethan and Mia. You celebrate their victories, you understand their struggles, and you become emotionally connected to their story. That emotional connection is the biggest achievement of this season. Overall, I really enjoyed the way this season mixed mystery, suspense, emotions, and character development. The stories stay interesting from beginning to end. The performance feel natural, and the writing keeps the audience guessing until the final moments. If you enjoy smart, mysterious dramas with a strong character and a well planned story, then teach you a lesson. Season 1 is definitely a series that deserves your time. One thing that makes Teach You a Lesson Season 1 different is the way it slowly builds its story. The series does not try to surprise the audience every 5 minutes. Instead, it gives a small clues in almost every episode. At first, those clues look normal, but later they become very important. That makes the season more interesting because after finishing it, you feel like watching the earlier episode again to notice the hidden detail. Another good point is the character development. Ethan changes a lot during the season. He becomes more confident and learns from every mistake. Mia also grew as a character, sister Clem in different situations, and always think before taking action. Because of this, both characters feel realistic and the audience can easily connect with them. The series also creates a strong atmosphere. The school setting doesn't feel like a normal school. Every classroom, hallway, and empty room adds mystery to the story. Even simple scenes feel important because the audience always accept something unexpected to happen. The writing is another strong point. Instead of depending only on action, the show focuses on suspense, smart dialogues, and emotional moments. Every episode ends in a way that makes you curious about the next one. Overall, Teach You a Lesson Season 1 is the kind of series that becomes more enjoyable if you pay attention to the small details, the mystery, the suspense, the emotional moments, and the journey of Ethan and Mia together make the season memorable from beginning to end. One thing I noticed while watching Teachul Elation season 1 is that the series now try to make the audience feel smart by giving easy answer. Instead, it slowly builds the mystery. Every episode gives one small clue and then another clue. At first, those clues look very simple, but after a few episodes, you realize that every single detail was important for the beginning. That is why this season becomes more enjoyable if you watch every episode carefully. Even a small dialogue, a short scene, or a character expression can become important later. Because of this, the audience keeps paying attention instead of watching casually. Talking about Ethan, this biggest strength is that he never stops searching for the truth. Even when things become difficult, he keeps moving forward. Many times he makes mistakes, but, but instead of giving up, he learns from them. It makes his character feel realistic because nobody is perfect. Now it feel it now if we talk about Mia, she is completely different from Ethan. She is calm, patient, and always think before speaking. Whenever a difficult situation comes, she first observe everything and then make a decision. This difference between Ethan and Mia is one of the biggest reasons why their teamwork feels so natural. Another great thing is that the show never depends only on main character. Every supporting character has their own importance. Some characters appear only for a short time, but later their role becomes very important. Because of this, the world of the series feels alive. The mystery also keeps changing. In the beginning, you think the story is about one secret. After a few episodes, you realize there are many secrets hidden behind the first mystery. Then another truth comes out, and suddenly the complete direction of the story changes. This keeps the audience excited from beginning to end. The atmosphere deserves special praise. The school never feels like a ordinary palace. During the day, it looks normal, but many scenes create a feeling that something unusual is happening behind the scene. Empty classrooms, silent hallway, and quiet office all help create suspense without showing too much. The background music also play an important role. It is never too loud and it never try to force emotions. Instead, it quietly supports every important scene during mystery scene. It slowly increases the tension during emotional moment. It becomes soft and lets the audience connect with the character. The editing is also very smooth. Flashbacks are used only when needed and they help explain the story instead of making it confusing. This makes the complete season easy to follow, even though the mystery becomes deeper with every episode. Another thing I really liked is the balance between suspense and emotions. The series is not only about finding answers, it also shows friendship, trust, fear, hope, and responsibility. These emotional moments make the character feel much more human. The writers also avoid unnecessary scene. Almost every episode gives useful information. You don't feel like the story is wasting your time. Instead, every new chapter moves the plot forward and keeps the audience interested. By the final episodes, you can clearly see how much Ethan and Mia have changed. Both characters become stronger, wiser, and more confident. Their journey is not just about solving a mystery, it is also about growing as people and learning from every challenge. And that is probably the biggest reason why teach you a lesson 2026 season 1 leaves a strong impression. It combines a smart storytelling, interesting mystery, emotional moment, and memorable character into one complete experience. Even after finishing the season, many scenes stay in your mind and you keep thinking about you perfectly. The small clues connected to the final story. Many mystery series make one common mistake. They reveal too much information very earlier, and after that, the excitement slowly becomes less. But teach you a lesson to 2026 season 1 follow a completely different style. The writers understand that mystery becomes more enjoyable when the audience keeps asking questions. Because of that, every episode answer one question but also creates two new questions. This simple idea keeps the story fresh till the very end. Another thing I really enjoyed is the way the season creates curiosity while watching. You don't just sit quietly and wait for the next scene. Your mind also starts working. You begin making your own theories, trying to guess who is telling the truth and who is hiding something. Then suddenly the next episode changes your opinion completely. That help that feeling makes the series much more fun. If we talk about Ethan, his journey is not only about finding answer, it is also about learning how to trust himself. At first, he depends on other people to explain everything, but slowly starts believing in this own decision. Even when he makes mistakes, he accepts them as and keeps moving forward. That is why this character feels feels very natural. Mia also continues showing why she is one of the smart character in the series. She never lets fear control their thinking. The friendship between Mia and Ethan also deserve appreciation. Their relationship is built on trust instead of unnecessary drama. They respect each other's opinion, and whenever they disagree, they solve the problem through decision instead of fighting. Because of this, their partnership feels believable. One of my favorite thing about the season is its realistic presentation. The character don't suddenly come heroes. They feel scared, confused, and sometimes even hopeless, but they continue trying because they know the truth is wrong. Finding these human emotions make the audience connect with them much more deeply. The supporting characters are also written very well. Every important person has their own reason for behaving the way they do. Nobody feels completely good or completely bad. Almost every character has both strength and weakness. This makes the story feel much closer to real life. The suspense is created in a very smart way. The show doesn't depend on loud background music or sudden jump scene. Instead, it creates tension through silence, expressions, and simple conversations. Sometimes two people sitting in a classroom can create more exciting than a big action scene. The production quality is also excellent. The lighting perfectly matches the mood of every scene. During serious moments, the visuals become darker. During emotional scene, everything looks softer. These small details improve the overall experience without the audience even realizing it. The editing also deserves praise because the story never feels broken. Every scene connects smoothly with the next one. Flashbacks are used carefully and they always give useful information instead of creating confusion. The soundtrack quietly supports every important moment. It never becomes distracting. Instead, it slowly increases the emotions and suspense whenever the story needs it. Good background music is something many people don't notice, but it play a huge role in making scene memorable. Another reason why I enjoyed this region is that it respects the audience intelligence. It never repeats the same information again and again. It expects the viewers to remember important detail from previous episode. Because of this, paying attention becomes rewarding. By the end of the season, you don't just remember the mystery, you also remember the journey of Ethan and Mia. The difficult choices they made, the trust they built, and the lesson they learned along the way. That emotional connection is what makes the story feel complete. Overall, Trituation season 1 succeeds because it focused on a strong storytelling, a smart mysteries, believing character, emotional moment, and excellent suspense. It is kind of season that keeps you thinking even after the final episode ends, and that's one of the biggest compliments any mystery series can receive nowadays. Nowadays, many mystery series only focus on giving big twist, but teach you a lesson. Season 1 does something different. Instead of depending only on shocking moment, it spends time building its characters. Because of this, when something big finally happens, the audience actually cares about the people involved. That emotional connection makes every important scene much more powerful. If you carefully watch the season from episode 1, you will notice that the writers keep dropping small hints. At first, these hints look completely normal. You may even ignore them, but later, when the truth slowly starts coming out, you suddenly remember those scenes and realize they were important from the very beginning. That kind of planning is one of the biggest strengths of this series. Ethan also keeps surprising the audience. In the beginning, he depends more on luck than on his own thinking, but as the story moves forward, he starts trusting this in- instinct. He he becomes more responsible, more careful, and much better at understanding people around him. His confidence grow naturally, and that's why his journey feels believable. Mia, on the other hand, continues proving why she is such a important part of the story. She doesn't speak too much, but whenever she says something, it usually becomes important later. She observes everything very carefully and notice detail that most people completely miss. Her claim personality creates a perfect balance with Ethan. One thing I really appreciate is that the series doesn't try to make every episode bigger than the last one through action. Instead, it increases the suspense through mystery, conversations, and character decisions. Makes the excitement feel natural instead of forced. The school setting also deserves praise. The sham classroom, corridors, library, and empathy space are used in different way throughout the season. Sometimes those palaces feel completely normal, and sometimes they feel full of mystery. This show how good the direction is because the location itself becomes a part of the storytelling. This the supporting character also handled very well. Every person has their own motivation. Nobody is doing something without a reason. As the episodes continue, we slowly understand why difficult characters make different choices. Because of this, even sad character become memorable. The background music also play a very chaotic moment. One of my favorite thing about the season is its realistic presentation. The characters doesn't suddenly become heroes. They feel scared, confused, and sometimes even hopeless. But they continue trying because they know the truth is worth finding. These human emotions make the audience connect with them much more deeply. The supporting characters are also written very well. Every important person has their own reason for behaving the way they do. Nobody feels completely good or completely bad. Almost every character has both strength and weakness. This makes the story feel closer to real life. The suspense is created in a very smart way. The show doesn't depend on loud background music or sudden jump scene. Instead, it creates tension through silence, expressions, and simple conversations. Sometimes two people sitting in a classroom can create more excitement than a big action scene. The production quality is also excellent. The lighting perfectly matches the mood of every scene. During serious moment, the visuals become darker. During emotional scene, everything looks softer. These small details improve the overall experience without the audience even realizing it. The editing also deserves praise because the story never feels broken. Every scene connects smoothly with the next one. Flashbacks are used carefully and they always give useful information instead of creating confusion. The soundtrack quietly supports every important moment. It never becomes distracting. Instead, it slowly increases the emotions and suspense whenever the story needs it. Good background music is something many people don't notice, but it plays a hug role in making scene memorable. Another reason why I enjoyed this season is respect the audience intelligence. It never repeat the same information again and again. It accept the viewers to remember important details from previous episodes. Because of this, paying attention becomes rewarding. By the end of the season, you don't just remember the mysteries, you also remember the journey of Ethan and Mia, the difficult choices they made, the trust they built, and the lesson they learn along the way. That emotional connection is what makes the story feel complete. Overall, teach you a lesson. Season 1 succeeded because it focused on a strong storytelling, a smart mystery, believable characters, emotional moment, and excellent suspense. It is the kind of season that keeps you thinking even after the final episode ends, and that's one of the biggest compliments any mystery series can receive. Nowadays, many mystery series only focus on giving best twist, but Teach You a Lesson 2026 Season 1 does something different. Instead of depending only on shocking moments, it is spending time building its characters. Because of this, when something big finally happens, the audience actually cares about the people involved. The emotional connection makes every important scene much more powerful. If you carefully watch the season from episode 1, You all notice that the writers keep dropping small hints. At first, these hints look completely normal. You may even ignore them, but later, when the truth slowly starts coming out, you surely remember those scenes and realize they were important from the very beginning. That kind of planning is one of the biggest strengths of this series. Ethan also keeps surprising the audience. In the beginning, he depends more on luck than on his own thinking, but as the story moves forward, he starts trusting his in, in, instinct. He becomes more responsible, more careful, and much better at understanding people around him. His confidence grows naturally, and that's why his journey feels believable. Mia, on the other hand, continues proving why she is such an important part of the story. She don't speak too much, but whenever she says something, it usually becomes important. Later, she observes everything, every careful and notice detail that most people complete miss. Her calm personality creates a perfect balance with Ethan. One thing I really appreciate is that the series doesn't try to make every episode bigger than the last one through action. Instead, it increases the suspense through mystery, conversations, and character decisions. This makes the excitement feel mature instead of forced. The school setting also deserves praise. The same classroom, corridors, library, and empty space are used in different way throughout the season. Sometimes those places feel completely normal, and sometimes they feel full of mystery. This shows how good the direction is because the location itself becomes a part of the storytelling. The supporting characters are also handled very well. Every person has their own motivation. Nobody is doing something without a reason. As the episode continue, we slowly understand why different characters make different choice. Because of this, even even side character become memorable. The background music quality supports every important scene during emotional moment. It remains soft during suspenseful scene. It slowly builds tension. It never feels too loud or distractive. Instead, it helps create the perfect mood for every episode. Another thing I noticed is the quality of the dialogues. The conversations sound simple, but many of them carry a hidden meanings. Sometimes a single line spoken in one episode becomes very important. Several episodes later, this makes rewatching the season even more enjoyable because you start noticing detail that you missed the first time. The editing is smooth and the pacing stay balanced throughout the season. The story never feels too fast or too slow. Whenever the audience needs answer, the show gives some answer, and whenever things start feeling comfortable and mysterious appears, the emotional side of the season is also handled with care. Instead of adding unnecessary drama, the series focus on realistic emotions. Fear, trust, friendship, hope, and disappointing all feel genuine. Because of that, the audience becomes emotionally connected to the journey of Ethan and Mia. By the time you reach the final episodes, it becomes clear that this story is not just about solving one mystery, it is also about growing as a person, learning from mistakes, trusting the right people, and having the courage to face difficulties. Trust Overall, Teach You a Lesson Season 1 delivers a complete experience. It offers a smart mysteries, excellent suspense, emotional storytelling, a strong characters development, and memorable performance. Even after finishing the season, many scenes stay in your mind, and that's the shine of a well-written mystery series. So, guys, one more thing that really impressed me about this season is the way it keeps the audience involved from start to finish. While watching Teach You a Lesson Season 1, you don't feel like you are only watching a story, it feels like you are solving the mystery together with the characters. Every episode gives you a chance to think. Every new clue makes you create a new theory. Then, just when you think you are understood everything, the story changes direction again. That is one of the biggest reason why the season stay interesting for such a long time. Another thing I really liked is the consistency. Many shows start with a strong opening but lost their quality in the middle. This season avoids the problem. From the first episode to the final one, the writers keep the same level of suspense, emotions, and mystery. Because of that, every episode feels important. If we talk about Ethan, Ethan, confidence grows slowly and naturally. The writers never make him look perfect. He gets confused, makes mistakes, and sometimes even doubts himself. But every challenge teaches him something new. By the end of the season, he becomes someone who can stay calm even during the most difficult situations. That growth makes his journey very satisfying. Mia is also written with great care. She is intelligent, patient, and always looks at the bigger picture. She doesn't speak unless she has something important to say. Because of this, whenever Mia gives a gives a opinion, it immediately feels important. She becomes a person who brings balance whenever Ethan starts acting emotionally. The chemistry between Ethan and Mia is another highlight. Their friendship is based on trust and respect instead of unnecessary drama. They don't always agree with each other, but they always listen to each other. That makes their relationship feel realistic and the audience enjoy everything they share together. The writers also deserve credit because they don't waste time on unnecessary scene. Every episode adds something valuable to the story. Even a short conversation can become important later. This keeps the audience focused because you never know With a small detail will become the next big clue. The atmosphere of the season is another strong point. The school slowly changes from a normal palace into a location full of detail, secrets, empty classroom, silent hallway, dark rooms, and late night seeing all courtesy feeling that something important is always about to happen. This kind of visual storytelling makes the mystery even stronger. The cinematography also deserves appreciation. Many scenes are simple, but the camera angles make them look much more powerful. Close-up shots clearly show the emotions or the characters' face, allowing the audience to understand what they are feeling without long dialogues. The background music continues doing an excellent job throughout the season. It quietly builds tension during suspenseful scene and gentle supports emotional moments. It never feels loud or distracting. Instead, it becomes a natural part of the storytelling. Another thing I noticed is the quality of the dialogues. The conversations sound simple, but they carry deep meaning. Many dialogues become memorable because they connect with later events. When you rewatch the season, you notice many hidden hints that you completely missed the first time. The supporting characters are also hidden very well, handled very well. Very important character has a personal goal, a personal struggle, and a reason behind their action. Nobody exists just to fill the secret. This makes the world of the series feel complete and believable. The emotional moment becomes stronger as the season moves forward. Its ending, instead of depending only on mystery, the show reminds us that every decision has consequence. Friendship are tested, trust is changed, and every character has to face the result of their choice. These emotional scenes give extra depth to the story. The pacing also deserves praise. The series never rushes important moments and it never abstract simple scene for too long. Everything feels balanced, making the season enjoyable from beginning to end. In my opinion, one of the biggest achievement of Elation season 1 is that it remains interesting even after the mystery starts becoming clear. Usually, usually once the audience understand the main secret, excitement become less. But here, the emotional journey of Ethan and Mia keeps the audience fully invested until the very last episode. Overall, this season succeed because it combines smart storytelling, excellent suspense, emotional moment, realistic characters, and strong direction. It never depends only on twist. Instead, it builds a complete journey that stays with the audience even after the final episode ends. That's exactly what makes Teach You Elation Season 1 such a memorable mystery series. So, guys, before I finish talking about this season, there's one more thing that really deserves attention. Sometimes a mystery series becomes so complicated that the audience starts losing interest. but teach you a lesson. Manage this balance very well. The story becomes deeper with every episode, but it never feels impossible to understand if you watch carefully. Every important answer is already hidden somewhere in the previous episode. That is why this season becomes even better on a second watch. After knowing the complete story, you start noticing many small hints that you completely ignored the first time. A short conversation, a simple look between two characters, or even a small object in the background suddenly feels important. This kind of detailed writing show how much planning went into the story. Talking once again about Ethan, I like that never become a unrealistic hero. He remains a normal person who learns from every challenge. Sometimes he wins, sometimes he fails, but every experience makes him stronger. That slow growth is one of the biggest reason why his character feels genuine. Mia is also written in a very balanced way. She is intelligent but she is not shown as someone who know very every answer. So he she also has moment where she has to think carefully before making a decision. Because of this, both Ethan and Mia feel like real people instead of perfect things. Another thing that impressed me is the way the series handles suspense. It doesn't always use shocking twist. Sometimes the biggest excitement comes from a simple conversation or a hidden clue that prove the writers trust their story instead of depending only on surprise. The direction also deserves praise. Every episode has its own mood. Some episodes feel calm while other creates constant tension. The director know exactly when to slow the story down and when to increase the excitement. Because of that, the audience never feels bored. The production quality remains stronger from beginning to end. The lighting, camera work, editing, and sound design all work together perfectly. Nothing looks out of place, and every technical part supports the storytelling instead of distracting from it. The school location also becomes a very important part of the series. Instead of changing location again and again, the writers use the same place in different way. A classroom can feel safe in one episode and completely mysterious in another. This clever use of location helps create a unique atmosphere. The emotional moment also leave a strong impact. The show reminds us that every choice has consequence. Trust is not easy to build, and once it breaks, fixing it becomes very difficult. These themes make the story feel much more meaningful. One of the biggest things about this season is that it respects the audience patience. It never rushes important reveals. Instead, it slowly builds toward them. Because of that, when the truly finally comes out, it feels satisfying instead of random. I also liked that the supporting character never disappear without a reason. Every important character get a proper role in the story. Some help Ethan and Mia, while others create new obstacles. Every person adds something valuable to the overall mystery. The final message of the season is also interesting. It quality show the finding the truth is never easy. Sometimes the truth changes your life. Sometimes it changes your relationship, and sometimes it changes the way you see yourself. That deeper meaning gives the series more value just than just being another mystery show. Even after the last episode, the story stays in your mind. You keep thinking about the clues, the character, and the journey of Ethan and Mia. Very few mystery series create that kind of lasting impression, and that's why this season feels special. Overall, Teach You a Lesson 2026 Season 1 delivers everything a good mystery series should have: a smart storytelling, engaging suspense, emotional depth, realistic characters, and a satisfying journey from beginning to end. It's the kind of season that keeps your mind busy while also making you care about the people at the center of the story. So, guys, one final thing I want to talk about is why this season feels different even after you finish watching it. And usually, when we complete a mystery series, we remember only the final twist. But Teach You a Lesson 2026 Season 1 gives you much more than that. Even after the last episode, you keep remembering different scene, different conversation, and different clues. That helps because the story is built because carefully from the beginning. The writers never hurry to reveal the truth. They slowly build every situation. First, they make you believe one thing, then they quietly show another shade of the same event. Because of this, your opinion keeps changing throughout the season. Every few episodes, you start thinking, maybe I was completely wrong. Another reason why this season works so well is its simple storytelling. The story is deep, but it is not difficult to follow it if you pay attention to the dialogues and the characters. Everything slowly start making sense. They balance it not easy to create, and the writers have done a very good job. Let's talk again about Ethan. His biggest quality is that he never stops asking questions, even when people tell him to leave everything behind. He continues searching for the truth. That determination makes him a very interesting character. He knows the journey is risky, but he still moves forward because he wants real answer instead of easy answer. Now coming to Mia, I think she is one of the calmest character in the entire series. She never feels lets fear control her decisions. Whenever everyone else becomes emotional, She keeps thinking logically. That balance helps Ethan many times during the investigation. The chemistry between Ethan and Mia also keeps improving with every episode. They don't become a strong team in just one day. Their trust grows slowly after facing many difficult situations together. Because of this, their friendship feels instead of forced. Another amazing part of the season is its atmosphere. The school always feels like it is hiding another secret. Sometimes a empty classroom looks normal, and sometimes the same classroom creates suspense without showing anything unusual. This is the power of good direction. The camera work also deserves appreciation. Many scenes use slow camera movements instead of fast action. This allows the audience to notice every important detail, even a small expression on the character's face become meaningful because the camera give them enough time. The editing is another strong point. Every episode flows smoothly into the next one. Flashbacks are placed at the right time and they answer important questions instead of creating confusion. This keeps the audience connected to the story. The background music also helps create the perfect mood during suspenseful scene. The music quietly increase the attention during emotional moment. It stays sharp and let the performance speak for themselves. Nothing feels overdone. The supporting character also play a big role in making the mystery interesting. Every person has a reason behind their action. Some are protecting secrets, some are searching for answer, and some are simply trying to survive difficult situations because everyone has their own goal. The story never feels one sided. One thing I really admire is that the season never underestimates the audience. The it accepts viewers to remember old events and connect the clues themselves. That makes watching the series much more enjoyable because you become a part of solving the mystery. The emotional side is also handled beautifully. Along with suspense, the show talks about trust, friendship, responsibility, and the importance of making the right choice even when the situation becomes difficult. These themes give the story much more depth. By the end of the season, you don't only remember the mystery, you remember the complete journey of Ethan and Mia, the challenge they faced, the lessons they learn, and the courage they show while searching for the truth. That emotion connection is the biggest achievement of the series. Overall, Teachu Elation Season 1 is not just a mystery show, it is a complete journey filled with suspense, smart storytelling, emotional moments, memorable characters, and excellent pacing. From the first episode to the last, the series keeps the audience interested, and that's exactly why it leaves such a strong impression long after the season is over. So, guys, after talking about the mystery and characters, Let's discuss why this season is able to stay in your mind even after you finish watching it. I think the biggest reason is the writing. The writers never try to make the story look bigger by adding unnecessary scene. Instead, they focus on a smart detail. Every important scene has a purpose, and every dialogue pushes the story one step forward. Because of that, while watching the season, you always feel that something important is about to happen. Another thing I noticed is how well the series controls its suspense. In many show, suspense only comes from big twist, but here suspense is created through silence, expression, and simple conversations. Sometimes Ethan only looks at someone for a few seconds, and even that moment makes the audience start thinking. That kind of storytelling is one of the strongest parts of the season. Talking about Ethan again, I really liked that his journey feels realistic. He doesn't suddenly become brave or perfect. Every challenge teaches him something, every mistake helps him grow. Slowly, he learns how to stay calm, think clearly, and trust his own decision. Watching that slow development makes his character much more believable. Mia is also one of the reasons why the story feels balanced. She is not someone who only follow Ethan. She has her own ideas, her own decisions, and her own way to solving problems. Many important clues are discovered because Mia noticed things that other people ignore. That makes her role just as important as the main character. One thing I appreciate is that the series respect every character, even the supporting character are giving enough importance. Some of them only appears for a few scenes, but later their action become very important. This makes the complete story feel connected from beginning to end. The atmosphere is another major reason why the mystery works so well. The school never feels completely safe. Even during normal scene, there is always a feeling that another secret is waiting to be discovered. The empty classroom, quiet corridors, and dark corners all help create that feeling without using too many special effects. The direction is also very smart. Instead of showing everything directly, many scenes allow the audience to imagine what could happen next. Because of this, the suspense becomes stronger. The audience stay involved because they are constantly thinking about the next move. The background music quietly supports every scene. It never becomes louder than the story itself. During emotional moments, it stays sharp. During suspenseful scene, it slowly builds tension. This balance then makes many scene much more memorable. The editing is clean and smooth. There are no confusing jumps between scenes. Every episode flow naturally into the next one, making it easy to watch multiple episodes without feeling lost. Another thing I really admire is that the series never respect the same formula. Every episode feels different. Sometimes the focus is on mystery, sometimes it is on emotions, Sometimes it is on characters development. Because of this variety, the season never feels repetitive. The friendship between Ethan and Mia also continues to grow naturally. They don't trust each other immediately. Their trust becomes stronger after facing many difficult situations together. That show growth makes their partnership feel genuine. The final episodes also reminds us that every choice has consequence. The season doesn't show that every problem has an easy solution. Instead, it teaches that finding the truth often requires patience, courage, and the willingness to face uncomfortable realities. By the time the season ends, you don't just remember the mystery, you remember the complete journey, the emotions, the friendship, the difficulties, decision, and the lesson learned by Ethan and Mia. That emotional connection is what makes the season feel complete. Overall, Teach You a Lesson 2026 Season 1 succeeds because it combines mystery, suspense, emotional storytelling, realistic characters, and excellent direction. It is the kind of series that keeps your attention in every episode and leaves you thinking about his story even after the screen goes back. So, guys, now let's talk about one last interesting thing that makes that season feel different from many other mystery series. When I start watching Teach You Like Season 1, I thought it would be a simple mystery show there. A story only focus on finding one secret, but as the story episodes continued, I realized that the series is much bigger than that. It is not only about solving a mystery, it is also about trust, fear, friendship, choice, and how one decision can completely change a person's life. One thing I really loved is the patience one on the writers. They never hurry to reach the ending. Every episode takes enough time to develop the characters and the story. Because of this, when a big reveal finally happens, it feels instead of forced. The audience feels happy because they have followed every clue from the beginning. If we talk about Ethan, his complete journey is one of the biggest highlights of the season. At first, he is confused and unsure about everything happening around him, but little by little, every challenge makes him mentally stronger. Instead of running away from problems, he starts facing them directly. That slow growth makes his character very believable. Mia is equally important to the story. She is kind of person who believes that every problem has a solution if you stay calm and thinking carefully. She never lets panic control her decision many times while other character becomes emotional. Mia quietly studies the situation and finds the right direction. Her intelligence becomes one of the strongest parts of the season. Another thing I appreciate is that the relationship between Ethan and Mia grows naturally. They slowly build trust after facing many difficult situations together. The series never forces emotional scene. Instead, it allows their friendship to grow through their action, and that makes your moment feel genuine. The mystery itself keeps changing in a very smart way. Every time you think the story has reached its biggest surprise, another hidden truth appears. The writers never let the audience become comfortable. They always leave one more cushion that keeps you excited for the next episode. The atmosphere also deserves full praise. The school setting feels alive throughout the season. During the day, everything looks normal, but during serious scene, the scene location suddenly feels mysterious. The lighting, camera angles help create that feeling without using unnecessary effects. The cinematography is another strong point. Many close-up shots perfectly captures the emotions of the characters. Instead of using long space, the show often lets expressions tell the story. That makes the emotional scene much more powerful. The editing also keeps the story flowing smoothly. There are no unnecessary jumps or confusing transaction. Every flashback gives useful information, and every scene feels connected to the overall story. The background music quietly improves every important moment. The it builds tension during suspenseful scene and adds emotional during serious conversations. It never feels too loud, and it never distracts from the performance. Another thing I really admire is the quality of the dialogues. The characters speak in a simple way, but many lines have deeper meanings. Sometimes one sentence from a early episode becomes the key to understand a much bigger mystery later. That makes watching the season even more enjoyable. The supporting character also play a very important role. Every important person has their own story, their own secrets, and their own reason for making certain choices. Nobody feels like they are only standing in the background. This makes the world of the series feel complete. As the season moves forward, its ending, the emotional weight becomes even stronger. The audience is no longer watching only for the mystery, they also want to see what happens to Ethan and Mia because they have become emotionally connected to their journey, and I think that is the biggest achievement of Teach You a Lesson Season 1. It doesn't only entertain you with suspense, it also makes you care about its character, remember its story, and think about its theme even after the season is over. Overall, this season delivers excellent storytelling, a strong mystery, emotional depth, memorable character, and a very satisfying viewing expression. It proved that a great mystery series is not only about surprising the audience but also about creating characters and moments that stay with you for a long time after the final episode ends. So, guys, before ending the review, I want to talk about some more reason why this season feels so enjoyable from beginning to end. The first thing is the balance. Teach You a lesson. Season 1 never focus on only on element. It gives mystery, suspense, emotions, character development, and interesting dialogue in the right amount. Because of this balance, you never feel that the story is becoming too slow or too fast. While watching the season, I also noticed that every episode has its own identity. Some episodes mainly focus on solving the mystery, some spend more time developing the characters, other episodes increase the suspense and make the audience ask even more questions. This variety keeps the complete season fresh from the first episode to the last. Talking about Ethan, on one thing I respect is that she never becomes perfect. Even never the end of the season, he still has doubts. He still makes mistake and he still learn something new that makes him feel like a real person instead of a superhero. Every challenge changes him a little more, and by the final episode, you can clearly see how much he has grown. Mia is also written with the same care. She doesn't need loud dialogues or dramatic scene to become memorable. Her calm thinking, smart decisions, and quiet confidence make her one of the strongest characters in the series. Many times she noticed the small clue before everyone else. See, and those small observation becomes very important later. The friendship between Ethan and Mia is another reason why the story works so well. Their relationship is built slowly through trust and shared experience. The Through trust and shared experience, the writers never trust this part. Instead, they allow the audience to see how both characters slowly start depending on each other during difficult situations. One thing that impressed me a lot is the consistency of the writing. The season never forgets its earlier episodes. Small events that happen in the beginning often become important near the ending. Because of this, every episode feels connected to the larger story. The atmosphere is also created beautifully. The setting changes depending on the mood of the story. During normal scene, it feels like a ordinary school, but during mystery scene, the same palace suddenly feels full of hidden secrets. That change happens through lighting, camera work, and sound instead of unnecessary special effects. The background music deserves another com- compliment. It always now when to stay quiet and when to become stronger during suspenseful scene. It slowly builds tension during emotional moment. It allows the audience to connect with the characters without becoming distracting. The editing is also excellent. Scene changes are smooth and the story follow naturally. There are no moments where you feel lost or confused. Even the flashback are placed at the right time and help explain the story instead of slowing it down. Another thing I really liked is that the show respect the audience intelligence. It never respects the same information again and again. Instead, it trusts the viewers to remember earlier clues and connect them with new discoveries that makes watching the season much more rewarding. The supporting character also make the world feel complete. Every important person has a reason behind every action. Some characters hide the truth because they are afraid. Others believe they are protecting someone. This makes the story more realistic because every character has their own point of view. The emotional scene also deserves praise. They never feel forced. Instead of using long speeches, the series often show emotional through simple action and facial facial expressions. Those quiet moments sometimes leave a bigger impact than the biggest twist. By the end of the season, you realize that the story was never only about solving one mystery. It was also about trust, courage, responsibility, friendship, and learning that every choice has consequence. That deeper message gives the season even more value. Overall, teach you a lesson. Season 1 is a well planned mystery series that succeeds because of its a smart storytelling, engaging suspense, emotional depth, and memorable character. It keeps the audience thinking from the first episode to the last, and even after the season ends, its story and character stay in your mind for a long time. So, guys, that's my review of TCU Election 2026 Season 1. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked my review, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more movie and series reviews. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Good take care. Goodbye everyone. Turn on bell icon button. 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 Turn on the bell icon. Turn on the bell icon. And that's it for today's review. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment your thoughts, share this video, and subscribe to the channel because it really supports me. Turn on the bell icon so you never miss my next movie or series review. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in next video. Until then, take care and goodbye. Have a good day, good night, and enjoy you in your life. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye. Bye bye.